Russia's deputy chairman of the Security Council, Dmitry Medvedev, has unleashed a fiery criticism of the West, accusing it of deliberately stirring up tensions in the China-Taiwan conflict. His accusations are not just political, they're personal, framing the West as actively working to fracture relationships and sow instability in one of the world's most sensitive regions. In his strongly worded statement, Medvedev didn't hold back. He painted a picture of Western powers as relentless meddlers, bent on undermining China's sovereignty. He made it clear that Russia stands firmly with Beijing, voicing support for what he sees as China's rightful stance in the conflict.
The Anglo-Saxon powers have devised strategies to encourage separatism for all those who oppose their aggressive meddling in the internal affairs of states worldwide.
Medvedev went further, accusing the West of ignoring Taiwan's attempts to rewrite its identity. He said the island's leadership is actively trying to erase its Chinese roots, something he described as a dangerous cultural and political move, encouraged by Western allies.
In addition to the unfettered supply of arms to Taiwan, there is a deliberate tendency to turn a blind eye to the efforts of the Taiwanese administration to de-Sinicize and Taiwanese the island.
For Medvedev, the issue goes beyond geopolitics. He argued that this is about a deeper agenda, one aimed at creating division between Taiwan and China. He warned that the West's interference is unraveling decades of history, culture, and shared identity, all to gain an upper hand in the global power struggle.
The political essence of these actions is encapsulated in a series of notable declarations from Taipei, suggesting that a new nation emerged, distinct from the predominant Chinese ethnic group.
He didn't stop there. Medvedev accused Western powers of going after China's heritage itself, using language and culture as tools to draw an artificial line between Taiwan and its history. To him, this isn't just politics, it's an attack on identity.
To achieve this transformation, tools such as manipulative linguistic separation, fostering insular nationalism, and endorsing pro-Western values and ideas that are alien to traditional Chinese national culture are employed.
The warning was blunt and chilling. Medvedev said, "The West's actions are a ticking time bomb, threatening not just the peace in the Taiwan Strait, but the stability of the entire region." He argued that the West is actively pushing Taiwan toward a path of independence that could lead to war.
The Anglo-Saxons have a specific political goal of entirely reshaping the island identity. To erode the One China principle, declare Taiwan's independence following the Kosovo scenario, and undermine the status quo in the Taiwan Strait.
Medvedev also spoke about the power of language, not as a political weapon, but as something deeply human. He accused the West of using language to divide rather than unite, and of stripping generations of the ties that connect them to their heritage.
Washington, London, and Brussels are acutely aware that language is not solely a vital tool for upholding age-old traditions that forge the bond between generations.
He described it as an ideological assault, one designed to create an identity crisis among the people of Taiwan. Medvedev argued that this effort is meant to erase historical memory and foster a culture that feels disconnected from its roots.
The West is launching an ideological assault on language as an element of civic solidarity, to instigate an externally driven crisis of self-identification and a loss of historical memory.
Medvedev turned his attention to the National Endowment for Democracy, a US-based organization he accused of fueling separatist movements in both Taiwan and Hong Kong. He framed the group's work as part of a broader effort to contain China's rise, regardless of the cost.
The National Endowment for Democracy, NED, has played an exceptionally destructive role in containing China's development by manipulating the Taiwan and Hong Kong issues to provoke a split and confrontation within the PRC.
This isn't just about Taiwan, Medvedev said. He pointed to a larger strategy by Western powers to create fake identities for ethnic groups, all in a bid to weaken and divide nations like Russia and China. It's a playbook, he claimed, that's been used repeatedly to destabilize states from within.
The incitement of interethnic or interracial hostility often manifests in the construction of a national pseudo-identity for an ethnic group, aiming to sever it from the state-forming populace. This is precisely what Washington and its allies attempt with Russia, China, and many other nations.
Bringing the conversation back to Taiwan, Medvedev didn't mince words. He called the island an inseparable part of China. He dismissed efforts to create a separate Taiwanese identity or nationhood as entirely artificial, doomed to fail in the long run.
Taiwan is an organic and integral part of the Chinese national domain, an administrative unit of the People's Republic of China. Efforts to fabricate Taiwanese statehood, nationality, or language, instigated from across the ocean, are artificial and consequently unsustainable.
Medvedev's statement isn't the first time a Russian official has criticized the West's role in the Taiwan conflict, but it's one of the most direct. His remarks emphasize just how closely Russia is aligning itself with China as the two nations face mounting pressure from the United States and its allies. These comments come at a time of rising tensions in the Taiwan Strait. China is increasing its military activity, while Taiwan is doubling down on its relationship with the US. The situation has all the ingredients of a major international crisis. The Taiwan conflict is quickly becoming a global fault line, with Russia throwing its weight behind China and the US rallying its allies in support of Taiwan. This standoff is no longer just about two nations. It's about the future of global power. Medvedev's sharp rhetoric is likely to escalate tensions further. For the West, it's a stark reminder that Russia is a key player in the China-Taiwan equation. And for Beijing, it's a signal of unwavering support from Moscow in the face of growing international pressure. As the situation unfolds, one thing is clear. The China-Taiwan conflict has evolved into a proxy battlefield for the world's biggest powers. With no resolution in sight, the stakes are rising, and the consequences could be felt far beyond the region.